What's up? Good day.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the show. It is time for the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast, which is brought to you by PointsBet. It's America's fastest growing online bookmaker. This is a full traditional sports book that offers customers more markets and rewards than anyone else. You must be 21 years old, and at the moment, this is only available in Illinois, New Jersey, and Iowa.
Because the other 47 states suck.
Yeah, that's the official stance of PointsBet. To sign up, go download the PointsBet app from the iOS App Store, Google Play, or www.pointsbet.com. When you sign up, make sure you enter our promo code FRUSTRATE, all caps, and PointsBet will match you up to $250 on your first deposit. And this is a tiered deposit bonus, so if you deposit $50, you get to bet with $150. Deposit $150, your first pick, you can bet $300. Deposit $250, bet with $500. You get the picture. This is void where prohibited. Again, you must be 21 years or older. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
Coach, see you're back.
I'm drafting Kyle. That's a bold pick by.
First of all, you're not the GM.
The quarterback whisperer.
You don't draft a darn thing. Second of all, Kyle Trask is a pick machine, so that would fit in well with your offense. So yeah. I support that.
All right, that's funny.
The 1985 defense would still work today if not for all the offensive soft rules, like protecting quarterbacks and concussions and things like that.
Thank you, man, Aggie. You're the best.
By the way, just for the sake of PointsBet, disclaimer: the thoughts and opinions expressed in this show are solely of the hosts, not that of PointsBet.
The opinions reflected about other states are our own. It's a good mention.
Yeah. Man. All right. Well, let's get into our show, shall we?
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Doing all right. Having a good week so far on our picks.
Last week was great for me.
I'm having a great week so far with picks because, like, normally I feel like I'm kind of iffy on, like, all the other sports. Like, I've done really bad with football, NFL. I did good with college football, but now with the other sports, I feel like I'm kind of in between, trying to gain my footing. But this week I'm doing really well so far. So
nice.
What about you?
Share your frustration. Oh, wrong show. Here, I'm copying my picks over for NFL. I waited because last week, which was a good strategy, you just copied mine and did the opposite, which you could still do. But I waited till the last second to put my NFL picks in this time. So, but yeah, doing well. Obviously, a big week of NFL coming up. When we did our show on Monday, I went 4-1 on those 5 picks I gave. The one I got wrong was the one non-Big Ten game I picked. So clearly, that's the problem. I've got to stick with what I know. But yeah, still off to a good start this week.
Do you even know who that is, man? Michigan hat?
No, I don't.
That's our defensive lines coach.
I did see. He got
defensive coordinator
in
for LA Chargers.
I did see that actually.
Good for you, Jay. Jay Rogers is the name of 2 of the quarterbacks in the NFC North from like 7 years ago.
True.
Yeah.
Jay Rogers got on the last lifeboat off the Titanic before it goes under.
By the way, this is a side note. I know we're kind of just whatever here, but I saw a poll on Facebook today or on Twitter that was about if the Bears gave up 3 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet, and Darnell Mooney for Deshaun Watson, would you do it?
Who's he going to throw to?
He's going to run. He's just going to run.
I said yes, and the guy who's posting it was also like, the Bears have never had a franchise quarterback, and also look, Aaron Rodgers hasn't had he's had one guy some years to throw to, but most of the time it's like no-namers that he's throwing to. Deshaun Watson still put up big numbers this year with the bad offensive line and nobody to throw to.
And I guess after Fuller was out, he still put up big numbers. So Yeah.
You take the quarterback, Bears. Like, trade everybody. I don't cut or trade whoever you need to move enough money and draft capital and contracts over to the Texans so you can get Deshaun Watson.
At a certain point, though, it's like as soon as you get Watson, it immediately turns you into a contender where you have a window. You know, like you have a window starting
He's
the day.
25.
You know, like it's a longer window than if you got Stafford or somebody, but you have a window. Like as soon as you get him, the clock starts. And if by getting him, you get rid of everybody, like the first couple years of that window might be wasted trying to put a team around him. You know, I don't know.
I know, but why would you say it'd be wasted putting? Oh, because
Like
yeah, exactly, Matt. Exactly.
like the first 2 years of the window that he automatically makes you contenders for. I don't know if by trading everyone away, you know, I don't know. You don't know unless you try it, I guess, but
you don't know unless you shoot your shot.
Ding. I don't have a ding button here, but soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into our NFL picks. Championship weekend. Would I take Trey Lance to be my lawfully wedded husband? I guess.
Interesting offer,
Yeah.
Very interesting.
No, I mean I would
take Trey Lance over Mac Jones or Trask.
Oh, 100%. I would take Trey Lance over Mitchell Trubisky.
Honestly,
but not you, Coach Nagy.
Never you. Like personally, if I was the Bears, I'd rather draft Trey Lance in the first round and keep all my picks than try to get Watson. But
no, I disagree. Watson is a proven entity, and the thing is like not only is he 25 and a proven entity, but as far as Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace go, like not knowing if they're on the hot seat or not, the fact that they like if they are on the hot seat, drafting a young quarterback doesn't really I guess it does help them because in a way they can be like, oh yeah, well things didn't go well this year because
we had to,
we have to evaluate him. Yeah,
we all did, Matt.
How do you think it happened?
That was baller.
Yeah,
big baller brand.
Yeah,
how do you think it happened? Love that.
All right, let's get into our championship weekend. We have the GOAT against Brett Favre's backup quarterback.
Some guy in commercials.
Yeah. So that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Original.
Yeah. Did you come up with that?
Super original, man.
The Packers are favored by 3.
Ooh.
So, what are our thoughts, gentlemen, and Matt Nagy?
He's a gentleman. I'll start because I've been this whole week talking a lot of trash about Aaron Rodgers. And
Tell me more.
Again, I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm just saying he's not. I'm just saying he's not the GOAT. There's a difference.
Terrible person.
And that's not debatable. I've come out and I've said that there's no doubt in my mind. There's no way you can even debate that Tom Brady is the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, whoever else you want to say, like their resume doesn't come close. And so even though this year Rodgers is the better quarterback because he's 5 years younger, like he's having the better season. He's playing better right now. Tom Brady's obviously the GOAT. So I guess I haven't even really been talking trash. I've just been talking facts. If that offends Packers fans, I'm sorry. But I kind of feel the need now in this matchup between two people who I've had strong opinions on. I feel like I owe it to the listeners to back it up, and I'm taking Tampa Bay plus the 3 points. I mean, obviously everyone right now thinks that the Packers are a better team, but Tampa Bay is coming off a really impressive win too. They've played way tougher competition in the playoffs so far, and they beat the brakes off the Packers the last time they played them. So if I'm getting 3 points, I really like Tampa Bay's chances to win this game or to keep it within a field goal. I agree, Matt.
So here's something I have to say real quick. Between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, there's one that is choked multiple times in the championship round.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Aaron Rodgers. And look, he definitely is going to win MVP. He's been the best quarterback this year. It's
Well deserved, yeah.
Undisputed. Undisputed.
Indisputable.
Skip Bayless, undisputed. But I just Brady has also been playing at a very high level. I heard a line of stats today that is like ridiculous when you consider that he is 43 years old and has been playing in this league since the year 2000. This year, in the regular season, he had 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and over 4,000 yards passing. It's just like, obviously Rodgers is getting the attention because he's only thrown 5. He had like 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but like 40 and 12, that is still elite level quarterback play. And everyone likes to talk about how Brady is washed up or whatever. If you're saying Brady's washed up and he's 40, 12, 4,000 yards, man, I don't know. It's crazy that he could throw as many touchdowns as his age. Let's just put it that way.
Yep. That's a good point. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Obviously, right now, he isn't the big play threat and playing as well as Rodgers. Like, nobody's disputing that right now. Like, my arguments were more about legacy, longevity, all this stuff. But even right now, I would not count on Tom Brady.
Yeah, so with that being said, yeah, I'm picking the Buccaneers too. These are the games when Brady shines, and to be honest, I think the Packers could definitely win this game. I think they could. I think that the Packers could definitely win by more than 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could. I feel a little bit of revenge-ish with this game. You're right. You're right. But I feel, yeah, I feel like the Packers could come out trying to avenge their performance against them earlier this season.
Yeah.
But it's still Tom Brady. I have a good feeling about it. Anyway, Richie.
Yes. All right. So was the whole game, I think the whole game with the whole like double pump thing, that was the Bucks versus Green Bay, right? That was that game, right?
What's that?
The like little double pump game that
game? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Never
basically, never do a double thrust.
Nope.
So what I'm thinking is the Bucks are gonna kill the Packers, hopefully, again. Because
literally.
Yeah, I think it's the kryptonite, honestly. So
you're right. He's right
Yeah.
again.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, I honestly I don't want to see the Packers in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna just go for the Bucks. Screw it. Go Bucks. Go Bucks.
I like that. Got you down. So we're all going Bucks. Yeah, what could go wrong?
Everything's gonna go wrong, but it's totally fine.
Hey, they cheer for the Bucks in Wisconsin.
I don't get it. Oh, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
All right, so sticking with the same game now, we've got the over-under of 51 points. So we all picked Tampa. How are we feeling on the score?
Whoop.
Overs?
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go.
Over.
Yeah.
I don't trust, obviously, the Packers defense. I do trust the Packers to put up points, and I trust
I have
Tampa.
been lobbying for this since Chuck Pagano
Could you
retired. I've
imagine?
been lobbying for this.
Would you actually want that or no?
No.
Because you could argue he was a solid defensive coordinator.
He had the best defensive play call in fourth
Right.
quarter Super Bowl history.
But like outside of that, like they never got big name defensive players, or like they built through the draft. So I don't know how big a part of that he was, but I don't know. He obviously was a
Definitely
terrible head coach, but a big part of it. So yeah, we're all on the over.
Yeah.
Any explanation on that other than just
I
it's going to be a shootout?
It's gonna be a
Two good
shootout.
quarterbacks
think-
and at least one bad defense.
just to go along with our logic of picking the Bucks, I think the Packers are still going to score a lot.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to pick the Bucks to cover, then you're by logic you have to pick the over because
in that kind of game. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that I think to me the floor that the Packers will score around to me is 24. I see the Bucks if I see like a 27-24 game, 30-24, but whatever scenario I've come up with in my mind, every single one happens to be over 51 or at or over 51. So that's why I'm going over.
That makes sense. All right.
One of us should be bold and pick even.
Yeah. Pick it right on.
50, yeah.
Yeah, how would that work? Because right now it's
like
a
5 points.
push if we all do, but yeah, if you go exact number, you should get bonus points. Yeah, I never thought about
That's
that.
a strategy for the
I pick
the
exact
Super Bowl.
number of 55.5.
That's a good strategy though for the Super Bowl Shoot Your Shot Sports Show.
Speaking of which, that is coming up next episode. So we kind of talked about this before we started airing, but no rules, no holds barred. Going to be a crazy episode. So we still don't even know what all picks we're going to be making, but there's going to be tons of prop picks, over-unders, against the spread. Maybe there'll be quarter to quarter lines. Maybe we'll have props on the color of Gatorade. Well, maybe we'll all double lock the coin flip. Like it's going to be a free for all. It's going to be insane. So make sure you don't miss that episode next week.
Yeah. Well, it'll be in 2 weeks because next week is the
2
Pro
weeks.
Bowl.
We're skipping. We're skipping the Pro Bowl.
And our skips are brought to you by.
There you go.
Does anyone know?
Oh, are you gonna?
I don't know what they're about. I used to do the ad now.
I got it. Our skips are brought to you by Fanatics and Coach Nagy. Fanatics is your one-stop shop for your sports gear needs. So be sure not to skip out on gearing up for the season like Matt Patricia probably will because he won't have a job. And go to shootyourshotsports.com/fanatics and click on the link to purchase through Fanatics. You get a discount. We get some of the proceeds. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right, let's
What are our PointsBet props for this game?
Okay, so I wanted to comment on this. I love that description, Matt. Thank you.
Wait,
It's about Coach Arian. Dude. Okay, Coach Matt, I want to hear your opinion on this too. He's got he always is wearing like the box for the sound for his like Bose headset on his chest. Every time I see it, I'm worried that there's something like medically wrong with him, that it's like a defibrillator like on his chest because he is like the oldest coach in the NFL. It's just that at any moment it could just like
a little switchy flips. Wow, I've never heard that theory before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like Iron Man almost.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we're this week we're doing the over under, we're doing against the spread. Then what we wanted to do is, since we're sponsored by PointsBet, what we wanted to do is incorporate another type of prop pick that we can pick from other than just straight up player props. So this is going to be a quick tutorial about PointsBet. If you're new to it and looking to start gambling, you should play with us, by the way. Code is frustrate. So when you go to PointsBet, there's an option on many of the games that says points betting. And when you go to that points betting option, let me just show you real quick. It looks.
I have a video if you guys want to like show it real quick.
Yeah,
I have a video. Yeah.
Thanks for
we can
telling
do
me
that.
now.
Yeah. So let's cut to this video to show them what points betting is actually what it is.
Good call.
The New York Jets select Darrelle Revis.
Revis is there and picked it off. Darrelle Revis all the way home.
New York. You know it as a city that never sleeps, but I like to think of it as a city that never stops. If you ever experienced it, you know that the pace, the activity, and the electricity is all next level. You want electricity? Let me tell you a little bit about points betting, a high-octane, high-thrill form of wagering where your bet isn't settled until the clock hits triple zeros. Here's how it works. Say you make a $10 wager on a team that's favored by 3 points. In a traditional bet on the spread, that team has to win by at least 4 or more for your bet to cash. Even if the game turns into a blowout, your winnings remain the same. With points betting, those extra scores turns into extra cash, as each additional point of difference from the spread becomes a multiplier for your winnings, creating the potential for big payouts depending on how well your team performs. Of course, it's important to be aware that the opposite is also true, as a losing bet will result in multiplied losses. Make no mistake about it, points betting is a wild ride. But don't worry, if you decide it's a bit too wild, you can set customized stop losses that will ensure your bet immediately ends once the score margin reaches a certain threshold. In other words, you can make sure you're only ever risking as much as you're comfortable with. And if betting on spreads isn't your thing, you can choose from hundreds of other markets to bet on, from player markets to team markets to time markets. Pretty much anything you want. The best thing about points betting is every second counts. From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, you're in it to win it with a vested interest in each and every play. I never took any plays off. Why should you?
Awesome.
Thanks, Darrell.
All right. So
Speaking of points, we talked about this not on the show yet, but just in our chat. When I saw the Red Wings game, they're now partnered with PointsBet, right? Because they have the PointsBet on the ice and like behind the goals and everything. So
on the boards.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm getting at the reason we showed that video.
Thanks to Tariq Cohen for that insider look into the Bears organization. They don't call him Kyle Long for nothing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the Bears don't have the best offense, but they did score there. So so we wanted to include points betting because it is unique to PointsBet, and we just needed more things to pick for the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm actually locking my PointsBet here.
Whoa.
So one of the options you can go to is scoring times or touchdown times. It's interesting how they have it set up, the scoring times in general. So whether that's field goal, safety, interception, touchdown, whatever, they have those set up as according to seconds. So you can bet an over or under a certain amount of seconds, and then obviously there's multipliers there as well. For touchdowns, it is minutes, and I am picking the under 10 minutes for the first touchdown in this game. This feels like a game, whether the Packers get the ball first or second, this just feels like a game that Aaron Rodgers, I think the Bucs still will win, but it feels like a game he's going to start by like getting the Lambeau crowd fired up, by showing everybody that I'm the MVP. And I think he's going to have like an almost flawless drive down the field and then a touchdown to probably Devontae Adams. So if you're looking to bet first touchdown scored, pick Devontae Adams. According
I like
to
that better though. The 10 minutes is safer because if they don't start with the ball, I also like Tom Brady's chances to score a touchdown quick.
Yep.
So, or not even quick. Like you could have a long drive, a 7-minute drive that scores, and you're good. So I like that one. Mine is also my lock, and I'm betting Tampa Bay team points over 25. So this kind of just falls right in line with my other picks, right? Like I think that, like you said, if Tampa Bay is going to win this and cover, the way they'll do it is by scoring over 25.
Yep.
So like I'm doubling down on that pick, which could be bad if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm locking that. I'm putting all my eggs in the basket of Tampa Bay winning this game And at this point, I've got 4 picks tied up in them winning and scoring a lot of points. So, or covering and scoring a lot. So
There were fans in Lambeau, not like
9,000, right? It
There's
was not that
some.
many. Yeah, there were some.
anyway, we both locked that pick. So for our locks, we have to say they're brought to you by the Shoot Your Shot Sports merch store. Go to shootyourshotsports.com to check out our latest gear. We have hats, shirts, sweaters, and mugs, and new gear is dropping often. Go there to lock down the gear of your favorite shows right now. All right, Richie, what was your points bet prop on this one?
So speaking of Devontae Adams, I feel like he's going to be a really big target. So last game, he was targeted 9 times. So the over-under for his thing is 8 receptions. So mine is Devontae Adams over 8 receptions. So I feel like he'll be targeted a lot. So we'll see what happens.
I like that. Catching 2-yard passes from Captain Slants over there on Green Bay.
Boy.
Slant boy. Yeah. the goat, apparently. Okay.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, so next up, we're going to our second game, this time to the AFC. We have the Buffalo Bills at Kansas City Chiefs. So the line is 3 points. Kansas City's favored by 3, and then the over-under, which we'll get to next, is 55. So yeah, if one of you guys want to start, where are you going on the spread?
I'll go first.
All right.
Yep.
I'm locking this. I'm picking the Bills.
Nice.
I like
Very
that.
bold pick, but for some reason I could see the Chiefs like having trouble. I don't know, like I don't feel it's gonna be a blowout, and I feel Buffalo can cover. It could be a close game. I mean, they could lose. I mean, whatever, but like I don't know. I could see it being a blowout too. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see what happens with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. You've been high on them all year, though, so it makes sense to ride them into this one, So
might as well.
You want to know a fun fact?
Sure.
So the Bills coach is Sean McDermott, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was a defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, fired by Andy Reid, and replaced with a formerly offensive line coach to be the new defensive coordinator. So talk about motivation.
Line was his last stop before defensive coordinator?
No, not Sean McDermott. So Sean McDermott was defensive coordinator, fired by Andy Reid. Andy Reid hired his replacement. His replacement was an offensive line coach who he hired to be a defensive coordinator.
Oh, I get. Okay, yeah. Andy Reid's crazy, man.
Talk about like revenge, though. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's get that trending. I like that. So here's the deal. I do like the Bills a lot, and I honestly would want nothing more than to see them in the Super Bowl.
But
partially because it would also be hilarious to watch the Bills lose to Tom Brady. But
yes. I have nothing against the Bills, but that would just be objectively funny.
It would be hilarious. And that's why I had been secretly hoping the Colts would make it all the way just to see the Colts lose to Tom Brady.
The Patriots are finally having a down year. It's our chance to shine. We win the division. Still knocked out of the playoffs by Brady.
But in any case here, I think all indications are showing that Patrick Mahomes is going to play, and I don't know, like his concussion looked really bad, but we don't. What was the severity of it actually? Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to downplay it, but
right, it's being said that it's more like a pinched nerve, or he almost got like choked out.
He's been playing.
Yeah, he got guillotined.
He's been playing full practice, everything. So with Mahomes back, and being in Kansas City helps too. I think the Chiefs are going to win. Like if I was picking money line, I'd pick the Chiefs, and for that reason, I feel like I could see the Chiefs winning by again more than 3. So that's why I'm picking the Chiefs.
Oh man, I just switched my pick on the fly. So I had the Bills, and I still feel good about that. it kind of changed though, because even earlier today,
Howard,
with Mahomes playing is obviously
Rashad
the huge
Howard.
is the huge factor, right? Like earlier today, I even thought when I was going through the notes, like Mahomes might play, but I just don't know if he's going to be 100% or what his mental state will be, you know. But just as time goes on and it looks more and more like he's going to be his normal self, it's just really hard to bet against the Chiefs. And not even just because of that's funny.
Coming out
and
from
not even
underneath their card tables.
Yeah, coming out of tables. Just busting out tables like
shattering legs.
what's up, guys?
Richie, if the Bills win, you need to film yourself crashing on a folding table.
That'd be
Yeah, of course. 100%. I will.
Do you see the video? Like, was it their first playoff win of that guy who just shatters his leg trying to do that?
No.
He jumps like feet first, and one of his legs like completely bends the wrong way, like a Kevin Ware injury.
Oh no.
Why would you go feet first?
I
Like,
have
the whole
no
point is
idea.
Body
He
slam
fell
it.
right through the table, and his feet both
He wanted
landed
to like
directly
jump
on the
onto the
ground.
table. Literally. I feel like
Snap City, yeah, just yeah, it was
Well,
not
hope
great.
it was worth it.
He
You'll
probably
be-
would say it was. Yeah.
Enjoy watching the Bills lose the Super Bowl from your hospital bed.
Right. Worth it. But I'm changing it, not just because Mahomes is looking more and more like he's going to be fine, but just the more I have thought about it, Andy Reid is the man, dude. Like when it comes to like people I love in this world, it's like my wife, my kids, my mom,
Furious
Andy
George.
Reid. And then Furious George. Andy Reid's just awesome. Like he's to the point now where he's become such an icon where it's
Yeah.
like he has his own coaching tree. Like I've seen stats today about
Is
the
anyone
Chiefs.
commenting on our show right now from the coaching tree of Andy Reid?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Nobody is successful, but somebody might be in there somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, like he took Kansas City to back-to-back championship games. I think I saw like the last team to do that was the Andy Reid coached Eagles, or it was some stat like that. It's just crazy how successful he's been. So he's the X factor here, I think. So I think Kansas City wins, and if I pick them to win, I'll just pick them to cover too. So
Very nice. All right, so let's move on to the over-under 55. Nice big number right there. What?
yeah.
So we all picked the over for the Buccaneers Green Bay game. I'll start. I'm picking the under.
I thought that this was going to be a bold pick. I'm picking the under too.
Same.
But yeah, like I'm kind of surprised we're all picking the under.
So here's
Well,
the thing.
because the last game, I'm definitely overreacting from the last game. It was only 17-3, and I really wanted to go over. So
And the
I was
Chiefs
like,
only
really
scored
pissed.
22.
And the
Yeah.
Chiefs never, like they score enough to win, but
Yeah.
they don't put up crazy points. I don't know. It's
Yep.
yeah,
You see, you can come to a logical conclusion that brings you below 55 points for sure.
it just seemed like going into it, you've got Allen and Mahomes. Like it seemed like it should be an over game. You know,
I mean, dude, I could for sure see this being like a 41-35 game or something. Like it could
Yeah.
totally.
I wouldn't be mad either. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I
Like,
wouldn't
that'd
be mad
great.
about that. But I could also see, just because of the past two games, I could see it being like a 24-17 game or something like that.
yeah, or even like worst case scenario for the Bills, like they really struggle for some reason and put up 10, or even Mahomes has his injury lingers and the Chiefs put up less than 20. You know, I don't know. Yeah, so maybe it wasn't that bold of a pick, but. Yeah, he does, man. Andy Reid's the best. Going for it at the 50-yard line with a backup quarterback on
From
fourth.
the University of Michigan.
Yeah, University of Michigan legend Chad Henne.
How you think can happen?
So, all right, we're all on the
You know,
under there.
I just want to say Matt's point about teams starting to figure them out. That's been something I've actually been wondering about, because it did feel like both of Mahomes' first 2 years as the primary starter, it felt like they would steamroll every team if they wanted to. But this year they've definitely been less spectacular. right? Like they're clearly still an elite team, but it is interesting. And I don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know how much of it is other teams figuring them out, or if it's just them playing more conservatively, or a combination of both. But I do think it's a really interesting point because sooner or later, as goes with all sports, sooner or later, things get figured out by other teams, and you have to adjust to it. And with how explosive that team is, it's probably taken defenses a long time to figure out their best approach against them. But yeah, maybe there are some small things that are starting to be figured out.
Well, it just seems like it used to be that that Hill, or not Hill, who's the receiver, the really fast receiver?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill.
Hill. Yeah. I couldn't remember his first name, so I couldn't remember if that was right.
Kareem Hill.
Yeah, it seemed like he was open like a year ago. He was open constantly down the field with nobody around him. And then you'd have Kelsey across the middle, who was like an automatic 10 to 15 yards. And not that they aren't still both really effective. They're not as wide open as they had been in years past. And that's a scheme related thing. You know, it's not like these guys got worse, but maybe the defenses are scheming better. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Like, I don't think Mahomes has been figured out. He's not a system dependent quarterback or anything like that. Like, he's talented, so it's not you figure that out and stop him. But maybe some of the wide open receivers have been defended a little better. Yeah.
Oh, I hope he blitzes all day.
He should.
That'd be great.
Okay, so I heard some other stats that Rodgers was sacked 5 times when they played the Bucks. By far the most of the season. He also threw 2 interceptions that game.
I wonder if there's a connection.
He threw 5 interceptions all season.
Yeah.
In that game, he threw 2 of them. Yeah, exactly. So
it doesn't matter how good a quarterback you are, you're going to struggle when you're getting pressured constantly.
Yeah.
It's true of any quarterback. So,
okay, so let's get to our points bets for Kansas City and Buffalo. Mine will seem contradictory since I did pick the under, but I still see this as a realistic possibility. I have the Bills over 13 first half points.
okay.
I could 100% see that. I could see the Bills having a big first half, kind of shocking everybody and all the fans that will be there in Kansas City. But I could see the Chiefs totally coming back and prevailing in this game. Even like a 24-23 game would still be under 55. So I feel good about that. Bills over 13 first half points.
Gotcha.
Cool.
All right, Richie, what's yours?
So I originally had the over. I just realized I contradicted myself, but I have the total touchdowns under 6.4. So I don't know why I had the over, but for some reason, so I changed it to under. So under 6.4 total touchdowns. Yeah.
Why is it 6.4?
Because that's what point that is. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. It must be like an automatically generated thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
here's a tip to anybody who is going to play points betting. They're under each one if you're not sure what it's talking about. So like right now I'm curious why it's 6.4. They have a little eye icon for information. If you click on that, it'll give you a breakdown of like what that is. So if you're ever unsure about something, just check that out because it was a very clear explanation for me. So, Man of Michigan Hat, what's your points bet?
I am going to go, and this is a bold pick, I think, at least. I'm going to go under on Josh Allen pass yards, under 302. Because, I mean, at this point, he's so prolific. The offense runs through him so much, and 300 is such an attainable number in today's NFL that it seems like that he should be able to do that easily. I don't want to overreact to the last game, but he did only have 206 yards in that game. The one before against Indy, he hit 324, so like he was well over that. I feel like this could be kind of more in the middle. I respect Kansas City's defense and the way that they've been, just especially these past few weeks, stepping up. So I think they get a few key stops, and this kind of relates back to my pick of the Chiefs to win. I think they're able to limit Allen a little bit. I think if he is under, he's going to be really close, like 270s, 80s at least. But yeah, I'm going to pick the under on Allen.
Very nice.
Yes. I'm answering this question.
Yeah, I agree with that
At
as well.
least. Yeah.
He's
Well,
had against the Bears, he had like 2 or 3 that
3.
should have been intercepted. Yeah.
And I tweeted during the Rams game, it's like this is the Bears game all over again, because it's not like he's had a flawless game. He has multiple throws that should be intercepted, and the defense just refuses to catch them. So yeah, I mean that's the kind of, there's no way you can spin that like because he's doing it so well, the defense can't handle it. Like the defense straight up just drops easy interceptions. So that's the kind of thing that catches up to you at some point.
Yep. Which hopefully it will again, because the Bucks do have a good defense. They were
The Bucks picked off Breeze 3 times. So
yeah,
if they get 1 or even if they get 2, I think they win the game if they pick Rodgers off twice.
that'd be awesome.
Even if they get 1 at a good time, it could flip the game. So
I'd be so pumped.
yeah. Will
Like
be.
double pumped?
I will be
One
triple
pump.
pumped.
Don't double pump.
All right. So lastly, for NFL related stuff, we have our Thrive Fantasy prop picks. Thrive Fantasy, by the way, do we have an ad read for that?
Yeah, it's not fancy. The daily fancy app for player props. Use promo code FNFantasy to receive $50 on your first deposit when you deposit your first time. So check it out.
Right.
ThriveFantasy.com or Google it.
Their app
Or
on
download it.
iOS App Store, Google Play
Yes.
Store. Yep.
Correct.
Awesome.
All
All right.
Thrive Fantasy picks.
So yeah, Richie, do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'm just double backing what I said earlier with the whole like Devontae Adams thing. So Devontae Adams over 89.5 total receiving yards. That's my Thrive Fantasy pick. I feel like he's going to have like 100.
Yeah, I don't feel great about the Bucks' chances to win if that happens. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I know.
like I think they need to keep him like in the 80s as the max, because otherwise, like you need to force Rodgers to throw to everybody else. But
right,
definitely not Mike Singletary. I don't know enough about George Edwards. James Betcher is interesting just from what I've heard about like his blitz packaging. And Jonathan Gannon, I don't know that much about. I think
They have a good secondary though.
for me, when I look at James Betcher, what I know about him, and George Edwards, I said I don't know much, but being that he was the Vikings DC, the Vikings have had a pretty good defense for a while. And I know part of that's due to Mike Zimmer being a defensive-minded coach, but I would feel pretty good about that. And so I'd probably say at this point, Edwards or Betcher, definitely not Mike Singletary. Can't do it. That was his NFL tirade. Anyway, my prop pick is Stephon Diggs over 4.5 receptions.
I like that.
If the Bills are going to win, or if the Bills are going to be competitive, Stephon Diggs is going to get way more than 4.5.
That's a pretty low number.
Yes, which is
I'd have
why
to
it's
look
not
and see
worth
what he-
very much on Thrive Fantasy.
Well, for us here, that doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a good number though. I'm going to take Leonard Fournette over 42.5 rush yards. So I know they split some carries a little bit, but
Playoff
again,
ready.
I gotta ask, when did you put that in? When did you put that player prop?
it was like late morning. What's it at now?
55.5.
Well, I got it at 42.5.
Oh, you're
and I'm
pretty-
not changing it.
You're going to be in good shape,
'Cause
probably.
that's when I made the pick, and that's when I would have bet it. So
Yeah.
but
I'm just
yeah,
saying
then wow. Well, yeah. Is that total yards though, or is that just rush yards?
Oh, maybe it was total. Let me look again.
The one I found was just rush yards.
Nope, that's PointsBet. The suspense. No, 55.5 total rush yards.
Wow. Well, I got a bargain then.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, I'm taking that
They
because
didn't know about playoff ready yet until today. So maybe
yeah,
that's
yeah. And I'm doubling down again. Like I
Is
put it
playoff Lenny like playoff Paul?
No, it's like playoff. Who are they talking about?
FP.
Last year,
Yeah, playoff P. That's right.
the other guy. Shit. They talked about it last on the
NFL?
podcast.
Lynn
NFL, yeah.
Sanity.
No,
I remember that.
but you get the point.
That was a fun week. Lynn Sanity.
It was
I
a
love that
crazy
week.
week.
That was a great week.
He's still in the league, isn't he? Like from the Magic or something?
I don't know. I think
No,
he's
he-
on the G League.
Because I
He
saw
was
him
he was in
recently.
China.
with the mohawk. I was like, is that Anthony Lynn? Yeah, so yeah.
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin, yeah.
Anthony
Anthony
Lynn's
Lynn
the
is
fucking
fired coach
Chargers.
from-
Yeah, right. Too many sports guys. It's not even
Oh,
spelled
man.
the same. Okay. Mine, yeah, Leonard Fournette over 42.5. I'm putting everything into this basket of thinking that Tampa's going to win this game. And if they don't, probably a lot of my picks are going to fall through. But if they do, again, this is the recipe of things that have to happen for my first pick to be right. So
Wishful thinking. I like it.
reality.
All right, so just transitioning from here. I know we're still waiting on like some lines to be posted and stuff, but I don't know. Did you guys have anything picked for tomorrow's games at all for NBA, college basketball, and NHL at all, or not yet?
Not yet.
I don't yet. No.
But you can like preview your picks if you want.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
So just real quick, so I'm trying to get more into betting hockey. So it's a little boring to be honest, because most of the over-unders are 5.5, 6, or 6.5, and most of the lines are 1.5. But I feel really good about both of these games. Lightning at Blue Jackets, both playoff teams last year. Lightning won the Stanley Cup. They're a good high-scoring team. I took the over 5.5. And then the Flyers at Bruins, another really good two teams that were in the playoffs last year, over 5.5 there. Then Pelicans at Jazz, I bet them earlier this week, and I bet the over-under. They barely cleared the over, which is what I needed, but the Jazz won by a lot. And so, therefore, I'm picking the Jazz by 6.5. And then lastly, this one, if I didn't already have a lock this week, I'd consider locking this one. But Lakers at Bucks, the over-under is 228.5. I'm taking the over. You're looking at two of the best teams in the NBA. Both can put up a bunch of points. And something that we talked about in our pre-show meeting that the Michigan Hat brought up is that when you have two really talented teams like this, you have a good shot for overtime as well. So I'd be tempted to lock that, but I already have my lock for NBA and college basketball, NHL. So, yeah, those are my picks for tomorrow so far.
And I'm adding the Lakers Bucks one. We did talk about it before the show, and I like that one too. So yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, should I close us out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that concludes the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast for this week. Remember to subscribe so you never miss another pick. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handles shall appear underneath our screens. Oh, well, first of all, our page at SYSS Scorecast on Twitter. I'm at Furious George 94. The man below me is at Richie Chicago, and the man to my right, is the man in the Michigan Hat at Michigan Hat on Twitter for all our dumb commentary on the games we're all watching, and with all the uncertainty in the world. Oh, also check on Twitter because if you hate the Packers, because man, the Michigan Hat and I are kind of like tag teaming on a lot of Packers posts lately. So check that out. With all the uncertainty in the world, one thing that is certain is our predictions and Matt Nagy commenting on our video streams, as well as Matt Patricia. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week for more correct picks. #we won't be wrong.